In this video, you'll learn about GDP, Gross Domestic Product. It is one of the important national income component. Now, let's see the learning outcomes. Explains the meaning of GDP, explains need of GDP count, analyzes method of calculating GDP, explains difficulties in calculation of GDP, comments on errors in calculation of GDP, explains value added method. Here in GDP, the gross domestic product, domestic means within the country. That means gross domestic product is the money value of the final goods and services produced within a country. Means in the boundaries of the country the goods are produced. That one will be taken into account as a GDP. We have three aspects of GDP. 1. Goods and services produced within a country. Means the goods are produced within the boundaries of the country. Second one, they are produced by normal residents of the country. Normal residents may be citizens of the country or foreigners having business interest within the country. And the third one, these products is produced in a given time of period. Generally, we will take it as a 1 year. The product is produced within the country and can be sold anywhere. It will be taken into account of country's GDP. But if any item produced in other country and sold in our country, that product is included in the GDP of the other country only. For example, if a mobile phone manufactured in China sold in our country, then mobile phone's value is added to the GDP of China only, but not in India. To understand GDP, let's take a country is producing three products, that is a cotton, and the second one thread or yarn, and the third one we take it as a clothes. Let's assume that production of cotton is 10 units and the cost of cotton per unit is rupees 5. Then if we multiply the total output with cost, we will get rupees 50. In the same way, we will take the cost of the thread also and as well as the value of the clothes also. And we see the total of value of all goods produced, means 50 plus 200 plus 800, that one is equal to 1050, which is treated as the GDP of that country. But actually it is not true. The GDP is not 1050. Why? Then how much the value of GDP it is? Now let us think about that one. In this example, cotton is treated as the raw material. Means cotton's output will become input of the thread or yarn, and whatever the thread or yarn, the output will become the input for the clothes. Means the value of cotton is there in thread or yarn and clothes. The value of thread, yarn and cotton is already taken in the cost of the clothes. Now here in this case, cotton and thread are the intermediate goods. Intermediate goods are the products which are used as inputs of some other products. So here the clothes are the final products, means that value of the clothes are taken into consideration of GDP. So the cost of cotton is 0 and the value of even the thread also it is taken as 0, and only the 800, which is the value of the clothes, is taken into consideration. Let's see what happens if we add intermediate goods to the GDP. Error 1. Inflated value of GDP. Means in the GDP, the value will be shown very high, which is not the real one. And error 2, that one it is a double count of the goods will be taken. Means whatever the good already taken, the value of that one will be counted again and again. So here let us see the alternative method for this one, which we are calling it as a value added method. So according to this method, value added is equal to value of the output minus intermediate consumption. Now let us see the example of that one. Now in value added method, we take cotton value as rupees 50 as it is not used any input. Value of thread is 150 as it is used cotton as input. So 200 minus 50, that it is equal to 150. Then the same as clothes, used cotton and thread as input. Therefore 800 minus 200, that it is equal to 600 is the cost. Now the total 50 plus 150 plus 600 is equal to 800 is the GDP. Growth of GDP is important to the national income. Domestic products reduce the imports from the other countries, and this led to the economic development of the country. See the evaluation. Why to calculate GDP? What is a final good? Why we should not add intermediate